Hello, true believers. This is Doc Hogg, and welcome to episode 101 of Comics and Variety. If you like this channel, please do subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified when I post new videos, and for the sake of YouTube's search algorithm, please do hit the like button. So, episode 101. 101 just seems like such a happy, uplifting number. Maybe not. Okay, a couple of quick things to get out of the way before I get to Batman Superman. First is my own comic book Tilt. The link to the sign-up page is in the description below. But I want to briefly talk to you about some of the logic behind my comic book Tilt. Understand that this comic book, the plot actually makes sense. The main character, Jennifer Poehler, is not a Mary Sue, and there is no emotional validation. So that leads to the major premise here, which is that social justice warriors will hate this comic book. And thus the minor premise, you, since you are watching this video, are not a social justice warrior. Therefore, you should sign up for Tilt. Again, the link to the sign-up page is in the description below. Okay, next up are some comics, some indie comics that I'm backing. The first is Wordsmith, A Steampunk Fantasy, Volumes 1 and 2 by Stephen Koch. In this comic book, the main character has the ability to bring words alive, like brave and fear. In my recent video on Marvel's X, I explained why I'm backing this. Suffice to say here that this comic book looks very good. Stephen Koch sent out an email yesterday saying that the campaign had about 3 more days to go, and he will not be having an in-demand period at the end of his Indiegogo campaign. So that means you basically have about 3 days to back it, and after that you are out of luck. So get on it soon. Okay, next up is a new one that I'm backing. It's Soulbound 2 Escape by Paula Ritchie. I'm going to talk more about this and why I'm backing it after my review of Batman Superman. But suffice to say for now that issue 1 of Soulbound was outstanding. I've seen a preview of issue 2 and it looks very good. So I would highly encourage you to back this. And as always, the links to the Indiegogo campaigns are in the description below. A while back, I reviewed issues 1 through 3 of Batman Superman by Joshua Williamson and gave it a very positive review. I really enjoyed it, so let's finish up with issues 4 to 6. And let me just say that if you see any comic book or anything really comic-related by Joshua Williamson right now, you should buy it and don't worry about whether it's good or bad, because he's so in the zone right now that you can bet that it is going to be very good. Alrighty, Batman Superman. If you don't know, in this series, the Batman Who Laughs is trying to assemble a team called the Secret Six to help him carry out his plans to lay waste to the multiverse. And to do it, he has 6 batarangs that are laced with the Joker virus, and the effect of the Joker virus is to bring out the evil in the person infected. Each one of these batarangs have been created to infect one particular hero. And the actual Batman has imprisoned the Batman Who Laughs in the Hall of Justice, and Superman is the only other person who knows that he is there. So they've kept it secret from everyone else, and that is going to have consequences down the road. Now, who are the Secret Six? They are Blue Beetle, Donna Troy, Shazam, Hawkman, Commissioner Gordon, and, well, let's see who's number 6. And here is one reason why the writer, Joshua Williamson, I think he's just on fire right now. We get to issue 4 thinking that the final batarang is intended for Superman. And the heroes are fighting the villains in the Fortress of Solitude. The villains set off an alarm in the fortress that brings Supergirl to the scene. Blue Beetle throws the batarang at Superman, who is tied up, but Supergirl jumps in the way and grabs the batarang to save Superman. Right?
Wrong.
Well, turns out the batarang was meant for Supergirl all along. Just, nice twist. You don't see that coming, and that's why I say Joshua Williamson is just on fire right now. Now, what else is great about this series? Well, you get art like this. This is just a superb double splash page, and there's lots of this. Let me mention the artist and colorist here. They are David Marquez and Alejandro Sanchez, respectively, and just they are doing an excellent job. At the end of issue 5, Batman and Superman defeat the plan of the Batman Who Laughs. They stop his attempt to bring a satellite to Earth that will infect everyone with the virus. So they win, right?
What is
wrong?
Well, it turns out to have been a diversion. 5 of the Secret 6 have gone to the Hall of Justice to spring the Batman Who Laughs. And now the cat is out of the bag, and Batman and Superman must face other superheroes and admit that they've been keeping a very dangerous secret, keeping that from them. And they need to start with Wonder Woman, which is where issue 5 leaves off and issue 6 picks up. And my thought here was, oh boy, Superman and Batman are going to spend an entire issue just talking with Wonder Woman. Oh good, lots of talking, just like the recent Game of Thrones comic book that I reviewed.
What is
wrong?
Well, except that doesn't really happen in issue 6. In fact, Williamson does the absolute best thing that you can do with that.
And then what happens?
She signals for me to go with her.
And what are you sleeping in? Because this is what I picture. Little cotton panties with a tight little undershirt.
No, I'm wearing little baby doll pajamas.
Oh, you tease.
Well, okay, Williamson does the absolute second best thing you can do with that. When Batman and Superman track Wonder Woman down, she is battling some creatures. So an issue that could involve a lot of talk actually starts off with action. So overall, issue 6 is a solid wrap-up of this story. And I just picked up issue 7 of Batman Superman, which begins a new storyline. I'll get to that soon, but for now, all I can say is if you haven't picked up Batman Superman 1 through 6, you should. Put it on your to-buy list. You won't regret it. Okay, so moving on to Soulbound Part 2 and why you should back it. For starters, Soulbound Part 1 was really enjoyable, and in the current campaign, there is an option to get the first issue if you don't yet have it. I reviewed issue 1 a while back, and I'll post a link to that review in the description below if you want to know what made the first issue so good. Paula Ritchie picks up in issue 2 pretty much where she left off. We see this creature, whatever he is, and we don't exactly know just yet. He's having a nightmare of a car crashing into the water. In fact, it is a vision of the protagonist, Becca, who in issue 1, the brakes went out on her car, she crashed into the lake, and she is about to drown when this creature rescues her. The two of them are now looking for a way to escape, and it is then that this evil creature comes into the room, and the last bit of the preview is this page where the two creatures are about to go at it. So there is continuity here, and the actual action in part 1, by which I mean battles, was minimal. So it looks like Ritchie is trying to make up for that here, which is good. And it really looks like issue 2 of Soulbound is going to live up to issue 1. And again, a link to its Kickstarter campaign is in the description below. Okay, that's all for now. Have a very nice day, and if you happen to think that you shouldn't back Soulbound Part 2, well, then...
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong.